Don't deny what you feel. Let me undress you, babe. Open up your mind, just rest. I'm about to let you know you make me so, 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 so. You make me so, so.
Good evening, good people, and welcome to another episode of Tea Time with Tocombamaria. I am your host, Tocombamaria, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Tyrone.
Hey, hey.
What's going on, Ty?
Another day in the life, baby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing
You
good.
doing good?
Yeah, I'm really digging this velvet shirt. I wish I could see like
What is
what is this? Velvet?
Velvet?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love
Beautiful.
velvet, Ty. You'll come to know that. I absolutely love velvet. So I like when the temperature drops enough when it's legit for me to wear velvet.
Oh, facts.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, don't do it in the summer. You be
Oh yeah, no, I mean
trying
that's
to peel
just
it off.
ignorant. Yeah, and I'd be talked about like crazy. It stems from my childhood. I was gonna say I think, but I know because velvet dresses. My aunt used to make me dresses.
Oh, you was a fancy little kid.
Oh, I was. Yes,
Nice.
absolutely very fancy. Yes, very.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
I'm still fancy.
Well, yeah, but you know,
What?
everybody usually it's something that people grow to. They be like, I didn't have it,
Oh,
so
I was
now I got
fancy
it.
from the womb.
Yeah, you a veteran, fancy lady.
Been fancy for 47 years.
Ooh, amen. And it shows, baby. So classy.
47 years, sure. Is it fancy?
You know what? Whichever way you want to take it.
Okay. I'll take it either way. It's
Yeah.
cool. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, right.
Happy to be here.
Yes.
Yes. It's Tuesday,
Yes, it is.
my favorite day of the week, because I get to be here
Oh,
with you, Tyrone.
I felt that.
Did you
I
feel
got
it?
goosebumps, man.
Did
I don't know if I
you?
can see it on the camera.
Actually, huh? What happened? Okay, yeah, what happened?
I know you had your little pistol with you today. okay. right.
Shots fired.
Bang,
How was
bang.
your weekend, Ty?
It was super eventful.
Tell me about it.
Man, okay, I'm gonna try to wrap it up quick because there's a couple stories, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
I did a show at Severance on Friday,
Okay.
and it was supposed to be an open mic. It was a birthday party, 200 people in there, right?
You got bamboozled?
Man, I didn't get bamboozled. I'm like, dude, let me go on, man.
Okay,
I missed the
all right.
cutoff. So
Right.
before I go on, the guy before me, he's doing his show. Some old drunk dude come and take the mic from him. Now the old drunk dude's doing the show. He's just dibba 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 dibba.
Okay.
So now I got to follow the old drunk dude, man.
Right.
I go up there in front of these folks, man. I'm hitting it with my greatest hits. The Fresh Prince of
Greatest
Welfare, nothing. I thought she said she was a trainee, nothing. I don't like women calling me daddy, nothing. Just go up there. I'm like, y'all are
Really?
tripping. So I go to the one-liners. You know, what's the opposite of gentrification? Section 8. Oh, the crowd goes crazy. What do you call an albino Jew? An Israelite. Oh, the crowd goes crazy, right? And so now I got 6 more in the holster. So I'm walking around with the cocky swag now.
Right,
You know what I
of
mean?
course,
but
of course you
I
are.
was like, damn, I felt like, you go up there, you want to be appreciated for your intellect and your wit and
Right.
your work ethic.
Yes,
It's
'cause you work so hard.
They're like, show us your tits. We don't care.
Show me that ass
That's
and
what,
titties.
That's what it was. We don't care
We
about
don't
your
care
smart
how
jokes.
smart you are.
So that was a good lesson.
Oh, so that made you feel. How did that make you feel,
Oh,
Tyrone?
I have been manufacturing spite. I have been in my room
Manufacturing spite.
just making up petty reasons, starting shit with myself to push me to the next level to be great.
Okay.
I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know. These jokes are funny every place else on earth. I'll be back next week, and I bet you it's going to be a different story. That's how I feel about
That's
it.
all right. Well, you gonna do it.
Yeah.
You gonna
But
do it.
after that, though, my brother popped into town. He surprised me.
Really?
And we went to the Chappelle show. That was all through him and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how was that? Because I really wanted to go.
You might.
Nobody took me to see Dave Chappelle.
I was gonna take you, baby. But I
You
was
wasn't
invited.
about- you
I
wasn't
was
gonna do
invited.
nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't lie to me.
Plus, we colleagues. I can't be taking you out there. People gonna talk.
Anyway,
So
damn the people.
look, we get to the Chappelle show.
Uh-huh.
They're like, okay, so if you don't have proof of a negative COVID test or vaccination, you need to go stand in this line and get the test, right?
Okay.
300 people in this line.
Of course.
Right, look, it's 6:30. The show started at 7. I'm like, is Dave doing 2 shows? Because I just don't see this going all the way. So we in line, and they're charging $50 per test.
Oh, the tests are free, right? Well, I mean, when you get them through a facility.
The line was so long, I was thinking about going to CVS and getting the free test and coming back. Just whatever. So we do that, right? And
That's messed up.
and look, we're outside in the cold. Like
$50.
the line is horseshoed, right? And look, they got one nurse.
Dude.
Just one person.
Yeah, just
next.
swabbing.
It's 300 people here. What y'all didn't prepare for this.
Lord. Lord.
So I'm up there going, I'm getting my swab. I'm like, listen, I'm going to give y'all this $50, but I didn't pay my money, my ticket. I didn't pay for
Right.
parking. If my test is negative, I'm still going inside. Like, I'm not paying $50 to get sent back. Just whatever. I'll go through the formalities with you.
Okay,
But I'm going
okay.
to see Dave.
Okay.
Man, yeah. So it was negative. And we finally got in there.
Because if you let me sit here with you all this time and it wasn't,
Just had to do an hour in the
it
cold.
was gonna be a whole problem.
Yeah, but the show was dope though. He had a
Was
couple
it
other a couple other comics there. They rocked out. Jeff Ross, the Roastmaster General went. Sam J. She's a lesbian stud comic, but she's funny.
Does she call herself a lesbian stud
Yes.
comic? Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
you were just like,
No, I
ad-libbing.
wouldn't. I
Like,
respect
really?
her. Then the Dave's movie came out. Dave's movie was 3 hours long, documentary.
3 hours? So wait, you sat and watched the whole movie?
Oh, it was no choice.
3
Look,
hours?
because we hadn't seen Dave yet. This is a brilliant plan.
Oh, yeah.
So the first act with the first two comedians, that was about an hour, right?
Okay.
Then 3 hours of the movie. Now keep in mind, everybody's phones locked up. You
Right.
there paying attention for 4 hours.
Right. Did they literally take your phones?
They gave you this little lock pouch, and you keep it with you, and they have the lock on the way out when you get it
Okay,
unlocked.
Okay.
So yeah, so after the 4 hours, right, Dave comes out. And he talks for a couple minutes, yay, do. Then he brings out some rapper. We like, Dave, no. Who is this? Who is this nigga? Dave, no, we don't want to. He did a whole song. We like, all right, cool. Dave come out for about 2 more minutes, talk some stuff. Then he bring Bone out. Now, at this point, I love Bone. I'm like, brother, you ready to go? Look, I'm asking, are you ready to go? Because I came to see Dave. I done seen Bone. I done been every Bone. I done been a million shows, man. I came to see
on.
Dave. Dave, quit teasing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
I
that
mean,
was
that's,
it.
that works up perfectly to sort of what we're talking about, because that was foreplay right there. That's what Dave was doing.
Teased me.
You can't just go straight to it.
I was frothing at the mouth like,
yeah.
oh.
Now, how long was he up?
Dave, I'm saying probably 10 minutes of talk
So
time.
it really was. That's what you were thinking.
Yeah.
That's what you had been
I
saying.
thought it was going to
all
be
along.
a solid 10 minutes, just like a little
But it
set.
was like,
yeah, little sprinkles. Here you go.
it was coming and going.
Yeah, he gave us a peep show. Like, here you go. Nope. Here you go. Nope.
I'm back. And then he pulled it back. Oh, my goodness. But you were glad that you went.
I am. Yes.
So it sounds slightly annoying, which, as much as I love Dave Chappelle, I don't really feel left out.
Right,
I
right.
don't feel like I missed a whole lot. So
I'm it was
okay.
for what it was cool. But I went
Watch
there.
it on Netflix.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I wish I would have. But I went there as a student.
Yeah, I mean, you are a comedian, so it only made sense that you would, actually
Just
go.
up there fantasizing about being in front of this crowd, like, one day.
This is gonna be me one day.
Right.
But it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All this spite I done generated, it's
You
gonna
and
happen.
this spite.
I'm a
Come
villain.
on.
I'm taking over the world.
Can't you motivate yourself from a positive place? Does it have to come from
I mean, I
from
can.
anger?
The anger, it unlocks different things.
Oh.
Yeah. I can come from a positive place and okay, I'm doing my job. Anger, it's like I need to prove a point overall. Like, yeah.
Well, look, do what you got to do. Just don't hurt nobody.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Just gonna roast.
Just well, so you're going back. When are you going?
Friday.
Going back Friday.
Yes.
All right. Well,
For redemption and dominance.
Friday it is. What time?
9:00.
Where at?
Severance. I don't know what it's called, but it's the Severance movie theater.
Right.
Yeah.
I forget now. I had looked it up.
Since I was a kid, it's been Severance. That's what we said. We're going to Severance.
Yeah, but Severance is the actual location. Severance used to be a mall. You can't necessarily
We only went to the movies,
call
so
it
Severance knew.
Severance.
Yeah, I know.
I forget. You gotta. Yeah.
I had a ghetto upbringing. Don't be fooled by the good English.
No.
Like, I
That's
grew up around niggas.
what I'm saying. Like I
Because
don't
it's
even
now
know. Was the
called
mall
front
still
stage.
even there when you went up there?
You said what?
Was the mall still? Did it still exist when you went up?
It's just
Yeah, you're a
sprinkles
youngin.
and
You're a
twinkles,
youngin.
yeah.
No, it was actually. You go
Oh,
inside.
it wasn't. It wasn't a whole mall. No, it was like a
Yeah.
plaza, more like that.
Right,
when I
like
was
it is.
going.
It's a plaza. Yeah. So no, Severance used to be an actual mall.
Oh, I
like
didn't
you
know that.
would go through main doors, and there were stores on the inside.
Oh shit.
And then around the country, as things changed, malls have changed their format and the way they are. So they're plazas now. They're not necessarily malls as much anymore. So it became a plaza. But Severance used to be an actual mall. Like Randall, do you even know what Randall Mall is?
I remember Randall Mall.
Oh, okay, I'm just saying.
I got my
I mean,
first
just
piece
saying.
of clothing
Oh.
from Randall Mall
Okay.
that I paid for myself.
So it was a mall. It wasn't nearly as big because
Yeah.
Randall at one point was like the largest mall, and then it was dwarfed by others. But anyway, so yeah, Severance was a mall, so that's a little Ohio, Cleveland,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Little
lesson.
history.
Little history. They're filming a movie up there.
Really?
At Severance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don Cheadle is the star.
Oh,
there's
man.
some other, obviously, there's other actors.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the only one that stuck
I was
out.
sold on Don. Yeah, Don
Every time I
Cheadle's
go
dope.
up there, I'm like,
You'll see him, right?
you're right. Hey, Don. But anyway, yeah. So the weekend was good. You had a good weekend.
How about you?
Same shit, different weekend.
Okay. At least it's consistent.
It's consistent. No, I'm working on some stuff. So I'm, doing what I'm working
Creating.
on. Yes, I'm being creative in a different way around the house. So I'm pretty excited about that. But
What emotion motivates you to create?
there
Is it one or?
no, there isn't one. Just sort of being.
Oh.
Just waking up, breathing motivates me to create.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'm mad that I have to be at work because I'd rather be doing creative things. Not sometimes, most of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't need to necessarily be motivated to create.
Okay.
I need to be motivated to do some other things, but
Right.
to create,
To go to work.
yeah, pretty much. But to create, yeah. I told my coworker today, I was like, I wish somebody would can somebody just pay me just to be creative all day, just to do the things that
It's called a
I like to
husband.
do? I know,
It's
right?
called a husband. That's
Damn. I'm taking applications. No.
yeah, right. Who wants to finance my life?
Right. That should be a show. Finance my life.
I'm trying to get it going.
It's not that hard, y'all. Like it's not that my my wants and needs are not that extravagant.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're above basic, but they're not super extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Might have
Finance my life.
Might have to play with some old balls or something, but
Now that's something I wouldn't have to do.
It depends on which price range you want, how much your lifestyle needs to create.
Oh my god.
You know, you might be able to get it with a $60,000 dude, but some people need $1 million dude.
I mean, $1 million dude would be nice. Multi-million-dollar dude would be
Right.
great. But I'm holding out for love.
Pardon me.
Couldn't
What
even
you
keep a
won't
straight
do.
face with that, right? I mean, love is great. Love is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, so I know what we're talking about today, right?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Love, sex, and intimacy. I've been in love probably once a year for like the last 20 years, right?
You're so easy.
I am. It doesn't take much for me. It's not. But having the feeling of being in love has never been an indicator to how good the relationship is going to be for me.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's like we feel this feeling and like, oh, I have to. I feel it, so I have to explore and see. Like you don't know. He was a bad idea before. She was terrible, but
Yeah. So, but I think obviously we get caught up in the external things first. Normally, that's what draws you in is the way somebody is, whether it's how they look or just how they present.
Yeah.
The man's swag or her booty was out of control. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it is. So you're drawn in by extra things, and then you get in there, and so everybody starts off with their representative. Nobody is showing up themselves, of course. You got to send your representative ahead of you.
But yeah, I got you.
I mean, I'm
for your
just-
point. I got
yeah, yeah, because yeah. So I mean, best behavior. Even you, I'm sure you don't do the most gross, disgusting things you could probably do in the very beginning.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have manners.
Yeah, I have some.
I mean, some. I was gonna
Some.
say some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have a modicum of manner.
Yeah,
Modicum.
a modicum. That was
Yeah,
good.
I know, right? But yeah, that's one of my favorite words. I use it all the time. But you have some manners, so you're not just gonna show up just being an ass out the gate. And
Yeah.
now you might, day 2, 3. you might-
But I could consider that though. I'd be like, well, it's probably gonna be 90 days, and I'm trying to have sex as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
you in this
but,
90 days.
but me
Do
saying,
you ever wait 90 days to have sex, though?
yeah, and I found out, and once after the 90 days came about, I found out the woman didn't even like to have sex. So now I'm
was
stuck
that
with her.
weird?
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't even sound right. You stuck with her, but okay. So love, sex, and intimacy. So, how important for you is love when you're talking about sex? Is it necessary?
No, but that's not at all. It could be just physical, but sex with the love is better. The sex I've had with somebody I'm like comfortable with, and I'm not nervous.
Why is
like,
it better?
It's just I think the familiarity, right? To a point, because after a while the familiar gets boring,
Right.
But I like the familiarity. I like the I know I'm trying to please you, and I'm trying to find new ways to unlock. So that's makes the sex better, as opposed to let me just masturbate with your body and throw you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even care what happens to
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the love
So it
makes
it better.
Yeah. Makes you more in the moment. Makes you pay attention.
All right. Because you care about the other person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just you about, you getting yours.
Yeah.
And you hope they get theirs, or you don't care.
Well, I try to be a generous lover, but I'm not gonna care as much if me and the woman don't have love. Like, well, time's up. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sometimes it goes off. Sometimes it goes soft. I'm sorry. You just gotta.
My gosh. All right. So sex is, so love, that's interesting, because obviously I've not taken any polls here, but
Hi-yo. Well, then you ain't qualified to talk about this then.
oh, you know what? Oh boy. And if I had to just let that ride.
That was a great setup. I would have caught it eventually, but that was a great setup.
If I had to just let that ride, then, we could have. But anyway, neither one of us can just let stuff go. And I'm not even an aspiring comedian, but it's just natural.
Not yet. We're going to get you on.
No, right. You're going to try. But anyway, so I've not taken any surveys of any men around. And again, when I talk about relationship stuff, and I always feel the need to clarify now, just because the world is so different. It's so different than it was when I was growing up, and even when I was a young adult.
Yeah.
And, we've got lots of different sexual orientations that are, that are out, that are not closeted, that are free to be who it is that they want to be. So when I speak from a heteronormative perspective, from a, female cisgender, a woman who likes men. That's a perspective I talk from, but it in no way sort of takes away from, anybody else's experience. It's just mine. So plug and play, whatever you need. You
Right,
know, if you need to
whatever.
plug somebody else in there and say she and you're a she. Okay, that's fine, but I'm going to say he and
Yeah.
him.
Mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
Right. So yeah, I haven't surveyed any men about whether or not love is important for them with sex, because I think, like you and I were talking about before, I think females in particular forget that men are human sometimes. And that sounds silly, but when I say human, that you guys really feel just as much as we do. I mean, because you have the same set of emotions, so why would you not?
Right.
You, of course, deal with your emotions very differently than we do, or not at all. But but you have them nonetheless. But because of the way men sometimes treat women and treat people, it's easy to think that you guys don't feel things, that you don't care about feelings, that it doesn't matter. When it comes to sex, we oftentimes think that it's just kind of like wham bam, that's it. There's no feeling involved. There's no love involved. And I think we have to step back and say, wait a minute. Now, even though he's acting like whatever, oftentimes those sorts of, acting all hard and all tough, a lot of times that does come from a place of hurt, or that comes from a place of sort of protecting yourself.
Absolutely.
Keeping up an armor so that you're not injured by whomever. But you guys do have feelings. So, I guess love would be important in sex to
But
y'all.
you know what? Like, I've always
I guess.
been into love, right? But kind of ashamed of it.
Why?
Because growing up, right, just the culture, we don't love these hoes. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. It ain't trick. You can't trick, but
no, but you're right.
But this became a philosophy. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course
Like,
it did.
Yeah, like
because music is how we live our lives. Music is everything. Music is all around. You can remember things that happened in your life according to different songs. You hear a song play, it'll put you right back where you were when you first heard that song, or when you heard that song most often. So you growing up when you did, like you had all of that.
And look, and your friends, everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah.
You be with your girlfriend, like, oh, this nigga kissing this bitch in the mouth. Like, like we go together. Okay, but it was just showing love and intimacy was not. It was not
cool.
approved of. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I ain't spending money on a woman until I was grown. Like, all right, this is not tricking. This is my girlfriend. I can
Seriously.
do. Yeah.
How did you flip that thing? And do you think you've completely, flipped the narrative of what it is to what it is to be with a, I was going to my song.
I knew he was gone.
What it is. Okay.
What's
No,
this?
but right. But do you think that you've completely flipped the narrative, or
Yeah.
are you still sort of stuck in, do you sort of, go between both worlds?
Yeah, no, I'm an adult now. I really got to a point of living from my gut and
Okay.
stop what I was supposed to do. And it's from both sides, from positive, like my parents or teachers
Yeah.
thought I was supposed to do, and
Right.
the negative influences.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just from here. Like if this don't feel right, then
Then it's not.
yeah.
It's not.
Even if I
going on.
can't articulate it, like nope, I can't do this.
So gut feeling.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never heard a man talk about their intuition, which is what your gut feeling is. That is
I got
your,
instincts. I'm a man.
That is your intuition, that gut feeling. That's really, this may be the very first time I've ever had a conversation with a man talking about his intuition, his gut feeling.
I mean, but it's real though. Like that shit matters. Like
Yeah,
if you feel something,
It does matter. It does matter. But like you say, I think that men are afraid to show emotion. I mean, because as men in our culture, in our society, Western culture, you guys there's a certain bravado, that you guys feel like you have to have just because that's what's put in front of you.
Yeah.
We're not a hunter-gatherer society. We're not. But we are a society where it says that men are the providers and women are the caretakers, or the nurturing ones,
Yeah.
the nourishers. So when you're talking about going out and providing, well, that's work, and that doesn't take a whole lot. You don't really think about that. You just, this is what I got to do. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and do what I got to do. And it doesn't take a lot of thought or feeling or emotion. In fact, if you put a lot of thought, feeling, or emotion into that, you might get caught up.
I think we would be like women. Women's love. I don't want to say women's love, but women's expression of their love is very performance based. It's like
Do tell. I mean, since you know so much.
I know I've been around the block a few times, but yeah, like as a man, I'm doing the job I said I was going to do. So if you piss,
What is that?
well, say the providing and the
Okay.
protecting and whatever. I'm not gonna not bring the money home because you pissed me off.
Right.
But a woman, she'd be like, well, I'm not having sex with you because you pissed me off. Like, well, this is kind of your job. I've been working all day. Like, I need you to
And to
express
that-
your love to me.
Yeah, and to that point.
Yeah.
Right. So we know. Okay. So fair exchange shouldn't be any robbery, right?
Absolutely.
Man goes out and works, and I don't even care how this sounds, because it is what it is. Like, it's an exchange of goods and services.
Absolutely.
It really is. I don't care if you're absolutely in love. I don't care if you don't like the son of a gun. It is what it is. Like, even if you're working, even if the woman is working, most times the man is allowed to be the head of the household.
Yes.
He's the one who.
You said it right too. Allowed to be.
Yeah, and you got to be so careful nowadays, because folks just, they just get all up in arms about stuff. I'm content allowing a man to be a man and to be the head and to be a leader, as long as he has, shown himself capable of such. I don't have a problem being, I don't have a problem being submissive to a man who's capable of leadership.
Yeah.
And being submissive absolutely does not mean being walked all over. It doesn't mean being disrespected. It
Absolutely
means none
not.
of those things, because it takes a lot to be able to put your ego to the side to allow somebody else to show you the way when you very well know what it is yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, so when men are allowed, to be head of the household or whatever, and so he's providing, he's paying maybe the majority of the bills, all the bills, whatever, and you may be working too. The woman might be working as well, the wife, the girlfriend, the whatever, but she is bearing the children if there are children to be had. She is taking care of the home. Usually she's the one to clean the home and to make the house a home. Mm-hmm. I was listening to a friend of mine sent me a video to take a look at, and we can talk a little bit about that too. But he was saying how, a woman takes things and multiplies it like it is her job. Like, that's just innately what a woman does.
Oh, that's a good line.
A
I like
woman,
that.
a woman she's given sperm and she give you back a baby in return.
Facts. Okay.
Woman is given anything and can make beautiful things out of that. So you've got a house, a woman can make that into a home.
Mm-hmm.
And so in return, he's been out here working, doing what he's doing. Now the woman is still at home working, doing what she's doing to make sure that the home is something he wants to come back to and it's comfortable for him and this, that, and the third, and who shot John and all that. But he's expecting a little something, right?
Yeah.
He's expecting something. But that something is a different level. And that something, because it's a physical something and because we're emotional creatures, it's a little difficult to give of yourself when you're not feeling that other person. When you're not feeling, if he's pissed you off that morning before he left. Last thing you trying to do is lay spread eagle. Like, you're not feeling that.
Swallow
You're
your
not trying to
goddamn
bend
pride
over.
and do your job.
It's just,
No, I'm just serious. That's how I
You
feel about
serious?
it. Yeah, but no, okay, but like for the dude, it's like if I choose you over all other women, like I'm making the choice to not, or whatever. So I need you to.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
Scratch this itch.
understand that. Intellectually, I absolutely do understand that. But I also know emotionally how it just feels like, oh, you just, like, I don't want to be doing this. Like,
Right.
I don't, you're just
Facts.
like,
And-
I don't
and
like this right
to-
now.
to
this
give-
is not what I want.
To acknowledge your point, the woman that didn't like to have sex.
Yeah.
I didn't want that version of sex. Like, well, here you go.
Right, because it was begrudging.
Yeah, here you go. Like,
Yeah,
no, I don't want that
just
either.
take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on my head.
Yeah. If
What's
I pretend like I'm happy going to work every day, you can pretend like you happy with me.
But see, that's so different, though.
Well, I get
that's
you.
so different. So, love, sex, and intimacy. What is intimacy to you?
I feel like it's spawned off of trust, like being able to be vulnerable with you, and I mean, in a physical way too. I mean, it seems like affection and vulnerability seems like what intimacy feels like to me. Like I can express myself and I can expose myself without being hurt.
That's a good cross section, I
Yeah.
think, of emotion to. So now that I validated your feelings, you
Yeah.
can go on in life.
Yeah, right. Tell me it matters. It do.
It matters. It matters, Tyrone. It matters. But no, that's a good thing. Now, do you feel that as a man, do you think you had good examples of how to be? Okay, no, let's back up. How do you think a woman perceives intimacy?
I think probably a more intense version of what I just said about the affection and the vulnerability.
Okay.
I think it's probably the same thing, but just amplified.
Okay. All right. Now, physically and emotionally, like,
Yeah, on
because
both.
we talking about love and sex
Yeah.
and intimacy.
But yeah, even for me, my intimacy, I say naked with my thing soft, right? This is the most vulnerable. I'm not in a great position, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this is me, and I trust you enough to show you this, please be nice.
Right. Please be kind.
Please be kind.
I'm a gentle soul.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that you had a good example of how to show intimacy to a woman, both emotionally and physically?
No. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Okay.
And he didn't even have a hat.
Yeah. So,
So-
his home was just.
Yeah. But I think out of just seeing stuff that my mom went through,
Mm-hmm.
I rejected the stuff he did and went the other way.
Okay.
And that's where my thing was, oh man, I'm going to learn how to please women, and I'm going to care. And yeah, this is before I found out bitches wasn't shit. But I was
Don't
like,
do
I'm going to
that.
really,
Don't do
I'm
that.
going to really try.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but the funny thing for me now, like, I enjoy sex and intimacy, and I can have that without love.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. That's possible.
or not romantically. I think there's still some love there, but it's not, leading up till death do us part type love.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be a regular human love.
Yeah.
How we love another human being just because you don't want to see somebody shot in the street.
Right,
Dead,
facts,
facts.
facts.
Like you just generally love humankind, which
Yeah.
is fine. I want to put a bookmark in this thing. Your arrogance of women.
Yes.
So arrogance of women and the ignorance of men. So
Ooh. I'm not mad at that. That's a good premise.
I know.
Because we dumb. Like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
Right, since you think we're so arrogant.
Yeah.
Yeah, box of rocks. Okay, so I think, so speaking from the female's perspective, as a woman, obviously, there's things we want from our partner. There's the understanding and the caring and all the mushy stuff. Like, we want y'all to have the emotions we have, or at least be able to understand them, but don't ever quite act like we do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like then you be a punk. Like, we
girl,
don't,
bye. I can't deal with this shit. With y'all.
like, we don't want that, but we want you to feel and to get it, and it just so oftentimes seems like you don't. And so intimacy, for me, since you didn't ask me this question, I'll ask myself. Tacoma, how do you feel about
I was just about to.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'll wait.
So how do you
I'll
feel
wait.
about intimacy, Tacoma?
Well, the way I feel about love and sex, let's start
Let's
back
start from the
with
beginning,
that.
yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. So love and sex, are they mutually exclusive? Yeah, they don't have to coexist in the same space at the same time. For me, would I prefer it? Yes, I would. Has it happened without it? Yes.
Yeah.
It has. But again, it's not my preference. I don't have to be in love with somebody to go to that point, but it means that much more when I am, and you will probably get more from me if I do
Right.
feel that way. Just because, like you said, with the love, there's that vulnerability, and then there's that like, I don't mind being vulnerable. I don't mind sort of just doing whatever, and that don't mean just no.
Tacoma.
But that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. But really, it sort of, I think the love part for me just opens me up to a whole other realm of what I'm willing to do, or who I'm willing to be, and how I'm willing to be that person.
Yeah.
And then intimacy. So intimacy, you can have love and sex and somebody still not be intimate. They can handle you like a freaking baseball glove, and you're like, really? Like,
Right.
what is this? What's happening here? I don't quite understand.
Right. You need to go get your cervix checked.
It's just like, no, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes guys they're not gentle, and they're not tender, and they don't take the time, and there's not that, they don't show you the connection. And not that you want that every time, because that doesn't have to happen every time.
Some girls like getting treated like a baseball glove sometimes.
And there's nothing wrong with being treated like a baseball glove sometimes, but you don't want that to be the standard.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be treated like a baseball glove as the standard of how we are together.
Of course.
But you don't have to be shedding tears and curling up in a fetal position
Last
every
night,
time.
it was so intimate. Like, oh my God.
But you almost got the snort. Oh gosh, I'm so glad.
You were amazing last night, honey. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But for real, like, I think that we could still have that exchange without it being uber feminine.
Right.
And the fact that we sit and make light of emotions being a more feminine thing when they don't have to be. Why can't they just be a human thing?
Yeah.
Now again, you ain't got to have all the sass that, because emotion is not about all the sass, it's about the feeling. We just give, we give things certain personalities.
Yeah.
So we don't need y'all to give emotions that type of personality, but you can still feel, and you can still talk, and that's a huge part of intimacy.
Yeah. Oh, talking.
the
Definitely.
verbal
I didn't even
sharing.
say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
But men don't like to talk.
I think y'all just like to talk excessively, man. Like, okay, so it's been times where me and a woman were having a disagreement, right? In a relationship, an intimate, loving relationship, and she would say whatever and make her point. I would make my point. Then she would come back and paraphrase her point, and then she would remix it, and then she
Really?
I'm like, oh
and
my
then
God.
she would scratch it.
It's
and
like,
then
right,
she
like,
would-
I heard you the first time. I said yes. I just want to make
But
sure.
did you say yes? So did you, and not necessarily yes, but did you actually acknowledge in the way that she understands?
Yeah.
Because typically, if we know that you understand, then we can let it go. But a lot of times, y'all act like
So
you
when
don't get it.
if a woman gets mad at me, if it gets emotional, I get clinical. I'm like, listen, I heard what you said. All right, I received that information. I'll try to do better going forward. Just nigga, I don't think you get it. That's what
Yeah, because there's no emotion in that. That's
Right.
too, like you say, you go clinical. You just go.
But it's like I'm trying to
suck
like
the emotion
if I
out of
messed
it.
up, like I want to take accountability, acknowledge that I heard you, and like say I'm gonna do something about it.
It really sounds facetious, though. It sounds like you're being facetious.
But it's not though. Like, I really do mean, like, I'll try, but it's like, but the same way you felt, like, that's not good enough answer, you know?
Not that it's not a good enough answer, but it's
I want to see the shame in your eyes.
when sometimes we do want to know that it, you know, like when a dog does, I'm not, but I was just, my dog bit me today.
Oh, he
bit me because I was leaving.
He owed you.
No.
You slapped the shit out of him like a couple weeks ago. You owed you. Been plotting his revenge.
But I digress. He has separation anxiety. So I was leaving and he actually grabbed hold of my calf and bit it. And I had to. So what I was going to say was, you know, when they do something wrong, because immediately when I turned around, like I was ready to, you know, of course I didn't, but I turned around with all the fury and anger of somebody who was ready to kick him across the room like a football. He had that look. Like, oh, I love you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it, Mom. And then he started barking back at me.
I ain't no punk, though. I'm just saying. You got it.
But you guys don't always show that you're remorseful. We want to see some puppy dog eyes. We want to see some, baby, I'm sorry. We want to see, no, what was that?
Because it's like a lot to ask, man.
How is that? Why is it a lot to ask?
Because I don't think we process emotions the same. Oh, right.
We don't.
Scoff. That was a scoff.
Yeah, you were
No. I don't know. The only example I can think of is like a breakup, right?
Okay.
If me and a woman break up, I am going to party for about 6 months before I realize, like, you know what? She was all right. Damn. You know what I'm saying? But like, it'll hit me later, like in life. It's not going to be when it first happens.
You're not going to curl up and be upset and miss her, and you going to call out all the hoes you used
like,
to know.
Mom, where the thoughts at, man? Come on, player. We out here. That was where the thoughts at, right? But I'm just saying, like, it does happen. And there's been times where, like, later down the line, like, oh, man, you know what? She was right.
But later down the line, though.
Yeah, but it's just the emotion hit me and had me thinking about it. Before I was just living life, like, oh man, whatever, you know.
And that's the issue. We don't see. I don't even want to know. We want to. Sometimes we want to see that emotion. We want to know that you feel just like we do. We want to know that it matters that we're withholding something from you, or it matters that we're not around, or it matters that you haven't heard from us, or, you know, we want to know that it matters.
I think if guys are scared to express love, man, sadness, it's like, oh, I got to show them.
You think that's because, again, that's probably because we would perceive you as weak or something?
Yeah, it's just, and I don't know, I think it's just something ingrained in us, like we feel shame. Well, I don't know, I'm not speak for all men, but a certain shame from being that vulnerable or emotional.
Okay, so when women show the emotion, the range of emotions that we show, do you perceive us as weak?
No.
Like if we break down crying because something was hurtful, how do you view that?
It looks...
That's an intimate moment.
Yeah, it looks correct to me. It looks like...
I thought you were going to say it looks crazy.
Yeah,
I was about to take my shoe off.
I seen that too. I know the crazy one. Usually one eye bigger than the other. When it's the crazy cry, it's like, all right, this is about to get dangerous.
One eye is bigger than the
she's
other.
Looking like Uncle Ruckus. Just, Look, she be crying and laughing. Nah, I know that.
Yeah, crying and laughing is never good. That's never good. Yeah, from a grown person, I've seen babies do it, but they just don't quite understand their emotions yet.
I don't know what you're going through, but
you better run.
I'm sleeping with the door locked.
Get your stuff and leave. Just leave. If you can leave, because it's not going to work out well.
Yeah. But women showing emotion doesn't seem, I don't know, like shameful, or they have anything to be ashamed about. I see guys do it on TV. It doesn't bother me. Like it's just
on TV. That's,
yeah, or even in person at the funeral home. You know, it's just. But for my own personal, it's I don't like to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I get one of them good ugly face cries. I gotta go in the bathroom.
Why don't you like to do it though? Or be witnessed.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels shameful, especially if it's not like a good enough reason. Like say it's a movie and I get choked up. It's like, excuse me, I can't let nobody see this.
You get choked up at movies?
Oh man, The Lion King when Mufasa dies every time.
Really?
It's like, man, I ain't got no father neither. Just have a whole moment.
I don't know if that choked me up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like if it's a movie, and especially if it's like. If it's not like some super black shit, like okay, we feel that. But like if it's just some regular movie and I'm crying, I'm like, man, I gotta get this
tears out of here.
Trying to suck them back up in my eye. Right.
Like holding the sneeze in.
Ideally, I'm a grown up. I shouldn't care, but I just automatically go to hide it if I do have that moment. Sometimes if I be like, oh, it's her, I'm safe, let it go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it has to be that moment, you know?
What does it take for you to know you're safe with a woman?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I think I do. That's why I do my tests. I try to be as ignorant and I'll try to look like a bad idea and see if she sticks around.
But you are a bad idea.
I am not a bad idea. I am great. Just because it don't end in marriage don't mean it's not a good time.
90 days?
90 days.
Okay.
Yeah, look, you be your best 90 days. Look, can I get another 90?
Lots of stuff is a good time and ends,
Yeah. But okay, so the way I feel like happiness is just moment to moment and it runs its course. Like I feel like all emotions run their course.
Yeah, happiness is a feeling, it'll pass.
Yeah, and
They all do.
And right now is totally different from right now. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you don't know how it's going to work. So
Right.
it's kind of in the moment with the person, and like I know I'm safe. I shared this with you. You know what I'm saying? I done told you my thoughts, and my craziness, and you still dig me. It's like, okay, this is safe. She's in it for real.
So based on her response
Yeah.
to you, her responsiveness to whatever emotion that you are
Because like you
expressing.
said, I got manners, but at the same time, I'm not a liar. So some stuff comes off more brutal than it should. Like it's the truth.
Right.
But
because people are not conditioned to hear the truth, then the truth always sounds extremely harsh.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we can't handle the truth.
Right.
We really can't. Because we've been conditioned not to. And we also, because of that, we don't know how to give truth with a spoonful of sugar. Like you can give truth and make it okay.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be like shards of glass going down. Now it might not be, super smooth, but it doesn't have to just be painful and feel like death all
Absolutely.
the time when you're getting truth. But we're not taught how to get truth. We're not taught how to do so many things that deal with the human spirit in an intimate and fragile and a holistic way. We do things very that are very injurious to other people and to ourselves, of course.
Yeah, this should be what school is about. It should be like emotional health and
It
financial health.
It should
and,
absolutely.
like just
absolutely,
make
because those
people
are the
ready
things.
for the world.
Yes. Money and relationships, those are things. I mean, money makes the world go round, and relationships, right there.
It's like
You can't live without them.
You're gonna come across these things.
Absolutely.
You might not get that
And-
math job or
And you need to know how to handle these things appropriately. And we just, as human beings, do not well know how to handle one another. We don't know how to handle our own selves, let alone somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, and I'll speak for myself, oftentimes you even expect more from another person than A, you're willing to give, B, you're capable of giving, C, that you've ever received before.
Yeah.
So you don't even necessarily know what it really looks like. And so you put folks together. And I know when I was having this conversation a couple of weeks ago, intimacy was being spoken about with the person I was talking to more in a sexual sort of way. But intimacy, it crosses the barriers of all things. I mean, because you can be intimate in every area of your life. It does not just have to be in the bedroom or the back of a car. I mean,
you is old. Back of the car. Everybody do that no more.
Right. I mean, I don't. Okay, whatever.
It was
Bathroom.
it was
at
a
the club.
77 caddy. It was the size of a
Bathroom at
living
the
room.
club. I don't know. But I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, I'm old too. I can't be out in weird
Right,
places.
you
I need a
up here
bed.
tripping.
I'm going to sleep after. I need
Yeah,
to
like take me to the house or to somewhere with a bed, cause like
find me sleep in the club bathroom the next
yeah,
morning.
cause germaphobe. I don't want bathrooms are nasty. Like
Yeah.
ain't no.
Nah.
Come on now, that no.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you can be intimacy there. But I was gonna say that if we can get to the more honest parts, I think if
Yeah.
honesty should be a part of intimacy. You know?
Honesty should be a part of life, period.
Yeah.
It should be okay to be honest.
Yeah.
And if it were okay to be honest, then men might not be out here doing so much lying if it were okay to be honest. But I will take own this. I will take ownership of this because I've been guilty of it. Somebody's trying to be honest with you and you just decimate them.
Wrong answer.
You just cut him off at the knees and it's just a horrible thing. And then he's like, well, why was I telling you the truth in the first, if this is how you're going to respond? So I've attempted to work on being able to accept. It's hard to accept sometimes, depending on what the honesty has to do with, but you have to be grown up enough, to be able to handle whatever. Whatever it is.
I think it's the same thing on the opposite side of we're talking about accepting compliments.
Yeah.
It's vulnerable. It's like, oh, I enjoy this. You don't want oh, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
but
it's
you do it.
hard to accept a compliment.
Why do you think that? Why is that?
It's difficult. I think when I get a compliment, it's almost like I feel like, oh, I'm not worthy. Like, oh no, it's not. Like, no. Like the person's talking about me at that particular point in time. And in my mind, all I can think about is other people that are better or other things that are better.
Right.
Like, for example, my hair. My hair is, it's flaming red. So it's one thing that people see. That's the first thing you see coming. And then I think about, well, yeah, I do like my hair, but there's locks that are much longer. There's locks, like I think about locks that look better or the locks I'm aspiring to. And so it's hard for me to take that compliment because I feel like I haven't gotten where I'm trying to be.
Right.
So don't say that yet because it's not good enough. It's not quite where I want it to be yet. And so just wait. No, just hold out. But for, so that I don't look like an idiot, then I do. Thank you. And I try to say it graceful. I always mean it modestly. Like I always really do feel very humbled when somebody gives me a compliment. Like, unless they yell, hey, baby, that's a nice, then. But if somebody's giving me a respectful compliment, and I always love it when men start with that they're not trying to be disrespectful or they're not trying to be whatever. Like that, I'll listen to it every time. Like if you just lead with that, I'll listen to the rest of it every time. That's why we wouldn't work, man.
I'd be like, sister, no disrespect, but can I have some pussy? Like I'd just be like, what, nigga? Look, that's the same face. But
I don't know, no disrespect, because I appreciate that no disrespect thing.
Does that make it all better?
I was in Walmart yesterday. I'm looking for something. I'm going down an aisle. I saw the man coming up an aisle, and I think I've told you before, I try to do the avoidance. I just, I'm not looking for anybody, so I try not to make eye contact. Because if you make eye contact with a man, that's as good as saying I do.
Oh, she like me. Yeah, she like me.
Yeah, we getting married next week. So I try very hard not to make eye contact a lot of times. So he kept, and I said in my mind, this is what I said to myself. So I'm going down the aisle, and he like doubles back to come. And I'm like rolling eyes to myself and sighing and, still trying to look for what I'm looking for, but also trying to let him know that I acknowledge that you're here and I acknowledge you're about to encroach upon my space.
Yeah.
So he comes, hey, sister, no disrespect. He had a card. So he gives me his card and he's like, I'm a masseuse or something.
Oh. It's like, get my hands on you.
No disrespect. And if you're a masseuse, if you're a man handing a woman a card and you're a masseuse, you need to lead with no disrespect.
Yeah.
Because why did you approach me with this card?
Maybe you look tense.
Sure I did.
Do you carry pain in your shoulders? He's just saying.
Your ass cheeks look really, I don't know. They just look
just a little
so stressed.
Get them together.
So you need to lead with no disrespect. But, I received what he had to say. It took his little card. And why do black people make everything minuscule? His little
they do.
Yeah,
I sing your little podcast on your little station and shit. I think that means we like. I don't know why.
We do that. Your little this, your little that. Oh my gosh! But a lot of times that is showing our affinity for something.
It is.
But so I took the card, put it in my pocket. Now, surely I'm never going to call. But his approach was decent enough. It wasn't disrespectful. Again, he's leading with no disrespect.
We should have him come on the show. So what were your intentions when you handed out this card? The people want to know.
We need to do a thing live. We need to just do a candid thing and just catch people. Like, you need to be in the back while people are coming up and just jump out and be like, ha, 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 ha. And what were you thinking?
Oh, that's the old move. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl take the guy up to the room and then the guy be in the bathroom. That's my wife, motherfucker. And then the guy run out to keep the money.
That's horrible.
That's the old scam.
That's awful. I didn't know that was an old scam.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've learned something from the youngin.
That's what my uncle told me. He told me about it.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're not doing that.
Okay.
But we can like go to stores and
Surprise people.
Yeah, we ain't tricking nobody.
No disrespect either, brother.
We ain't tricking nobody, but we can surprise them.
Okay.
But intimacy, into me I see. There's a friend of mine, Lorenzo, who's just super intuitive and super knowledgeable about a whole lot of things. But he has a group, and he teaches a way of living called Ma'at, M-A''AT.
Okay.
An ancient African religion, but not necessarily religion. It's a way of life.
Okay.
Okay. So anyhow, intimacy was, he broke that down one time in one of the classes. Intimacy, into me, I see. So if you're being intimate with someone, you're seeing beyond what it is just that's right in front of you, but you're seeing into their soul and their spirit, and you're seeing the innermost parts of who they are and what they need and how they work, and just who they are as a person without all that extraneous physical stuff that weighs us down. And if we would look at people more like that, if we would look at one another more as these just disembodied, if you will, souls or spirits, that just this disembodied energy that needs certain things, that has certain things to give and needs certain things in return. I think that if we just cut out all the extra stuff and focus on who people are and what people really are to the core, for me, I feel like that would be a much better way.
I agree with you completely. No, I do.
Sure you do,
I do. No, real. Look, I think all the bad stuff in relationships, people look at each other as a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? Like just
like finance my life.
Finance my life.
Yeah,
absolutely. Or you look pretty when we go out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or but not you, not your soul.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what it should be. I agree with you.
Yeah, it really should be. Because because this thing fades. This physical thing, it doesn't. Whatever it is, it's not up to everybody's standard, whatever that is. Sometimes it's not even up to your own standard, which is a shameful thing, because who gives us these standards? Where do these things come from? Feeling that, oh, my boobs need to be bigger, my waist needs to be smaller, my butt needs to do a certain thing, so I'm gonna wear heels so it hikes it up and I look a certain way. I'm extremely guilty of falling victim to those.
Yes, you are.
To those things. I think that I try to make it okay by saying I'm aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Which I am. I'm aware of, what society says, but I'm also aware that some of the things that I like may have been dictated by what society says, but hell, I like what I like.
Yeah.
So, like the breast thing, for example, bigger boobs would not be for somebody else. That's okay, that they're going to get the benefit, but it's for me, because everything I do is for me first. Yeah. And then, you get the trickle down effect later. But if I like it, I know you gonna love it. No, but I have to like it. But again, it is a sad state of affairs that we have all these things in our heads. But when it comes to the emotion of a person, like, of course, I like things to be in a certain physical package, because we know.
Right. Well, and can I address the boob thing? Like,
yes, you can.
It is definitely for the world. You know what I mean? Like, cool, it helps you with your self-esteem or whatever, but that's like I'm going to the doctor and get a bigger penis. Like, and like, this is for me. This is because I want a bigger. No, it's not.
But honestly, really, for me, because when I look, I'm not a real showy person, so I'm not gonna be like flashing,
Okay, let me say it is for me, but it's gonna be like, so they know I'm more awesome. This is for the audience at the time. Like, I'm not picking anybody in particular, but if I get a bigger thing, I gotta hit the stage. You know what I'm saying? They gotta see.
But you also use that thing to perform sexually. That's like, my boobs aren't a sexual performance.
It's like the appetizer.
I mean, not really.
Everybody loves titties, even gay men. Like, everybody loves titties.
I guess. I don't know. I really, it's honestly for me.
Okay.
Now, again,
Your
y'all gonna benefit.
Yes.
Y'all gonna benefit. But because when I, like, for example, when I wear a padded bra, well, who knows it's padded unless I tell, like, I want things to look a certain proportion and a certain whatever. So
I
I
got
do
you.
what I need to do to make that happen.
I was talking to the artist. This is more about symmetry and proportions.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. No, it is though. I mean, for real.
I got you. I'm talking
like
shit, but I got you.
But for real, it is. You know, my
Yeah.
clothes will fit better. Whatever. I just want some bigger boobs.
I got you. Look, I
Whatever.
was gonna get some calves. If I get some money, I'm getting me some calves.
Get them, and I won't even judge.
Yeah, you ain't gonna know.
I mean, if I look at your calves now,
You
look
ain't
at
seen
them
my
later.
legs yet. Like,
I know I haven't. I
I
haven't.
keep them hidden.
And you ain't seen these. I keep them in.
That's right. You better. Hey, but no, man. Like, I think all in all, like, the intimacy starts with yourself.
It does. Thank you.
Were
Absolutely.
you getting, I didn't want to skip ahead if you was getting
No,
that. Yeah, but it's like
no.
being able to be vulnerable with yourself and really look at yourself in the mirror. Like, man, you know what? I need to work on these things, you know?
That's right.
But at the same time, like, I'm proud of these things. You got to give yourself the same energy for the good stuff. Celebrate yourself.
As
like,
you do for the things that you want to correct.
yeah, like something, like it might be
Yes.
a day, like, you know what? I didn't smoke a cigarette at all today. You celebrate that. Don't let that go.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
like,
right.
yeah.
Even if you chain smoke tomorrow,
Yeah.
celebrate the good things that you've done.
Yeah.
The good things that you are, the things that you're proud of. And the things that you're not proud of, break those things down. Why aren't you proud of them?
Yeah.
You know, like if we break everything down to just the nth, degree of things, to really understand the innermost workings of why this is like this. Why do I do this? Why do I feel this way? Why does this look like this? Why is this important to me?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can get to the crux and the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier not to,
Oh, yeah.
because that takes time.
Oh, I don't want to look at that. No.
Yeah, because that kind of sucks sometimes. It doesn't always feel good to sort of look at things openly and honestly and
Did we talk about this before? That's why I've done acid from time to time.
no, you've
Yeah.
never spoken about it.
Okay, so
Do tell.
I know I grew up around white kids. Whatever, don't judge me. So
I mean,
yeah, but acid puts
And
you in.
I
a,
didn't?
You're right. Well, yeah.
I mean, come on.
but acid puts you in another state of mind, right? Where it's cool or whatever, but everything's kind of uncomfortable. So
how
this
so? Never
it's
done
just kind of like random thoughts, and it's kind of scary, and you get caught in loops a little bit.
Okay.
But everything's kind of scary. So it's like this stuff over here that I wasn't looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of look at it now because all this stuff looks the same type of terrifying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then you
Okay,
come out
so
like, all
nothing's
right.
more intimidating than anything else
No.
because it's all kind of
It's all,
scary.
yeah. So it's like, all right, this, my mama issues, and then commitment issues, intimate. You can look at that stuff there and like really get a understanding. Like, okay, cool. I'm not scared of it now because I'm scared of all this. And then you come out the other side with hopefully some more
A
knowledge about
greater
yourself.
understanding
Yeah,
if you're
ev-
not just trying to go on a trip.
yeah, yeah. Every trip doesn't end that way, but
Some trips end with you naked in the corner screaming.
my homeboy kidnapped a midget one time.
Ah.
He said he found a leprechaun. He was dead.
Oh my gosh, that's so horrible. I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah, true story, guys.
That's horrible. My daughter was telling, she's in college in New York. She was telling me about how somebody had a bad acid trip in her dorm, and they were like, she heard all this screaming. I think it was somebody's boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
And he was like naked in the stairwell, just like having a super bad trip. And she's in the middle of nowhere in New York, upstate New York. Yeah,
Lord,
right.
yeah.
But that's crazy. Yeah, no, not for me.
When doing new drugs, have a safe place with plenty of water and somebody you
And
trust.
clothing.
Yes.
Locked doors.
Yes.
That's so horrible. Yeah, so love, sex, and intimacy, we've learned they can all be mutually exclusive. Kind of feels better when they all work in unison.
Ooh,
in
when they come
tandem
together, whoo.
together. Yeah, when they work in tandem, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But all of those things absolutely start with yourself, as does everything.
Right.
Everything starts with being able to look at you and what it is that you want, what you expect. And it's really hard I think that's a lot of times where we fall short. We're asking people for things that we don't even have a clue.
Right.
We're not doing or we don't really know about. Take a look at yourself, take a look at how it is that you feel, what it is that you need, and act accordingly.
Absolutely.
Act accordingly. But everything begins with introspection. Because when you change how you view things, then you absolutely, positively, I promise, you do change how you do things. That's an absolute fact. Try it. You'll see that it works. But this has been another episode of Tea Time with Tocombamaria. We talked today about love, sex, and intimacy. And I thank you guys. I thank you guys, as always, for supporting us and being here with us. And just keep tuning in, like, subscribe, weupradio.com, Tea Time with Tocombamaria. And thank you guys. We are out. Peace.
Ooh.
Skirt on a bomb boy. No, I keep it real, ain't no decoy. I think it's time I made a confession. I was blind in love, learned my lesson. This ain't a game, I ain't the same. Person your new levels of change, busting your brain. Now you just plain salty that I ain't